All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Youth and Education Committee meeting for Community Board 11. It's June, I forgot what month it was, and the meeting is called to order at 6:37 p.m. My name is Asha Rodriguez, I'm the chair of this committee. All right, just before we begin, a few ground rules. No one may speak until granted the floor. Lee, can you move the?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Why is this thing not doing that? Telling it to.
Again, CB11 members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. To raise your hand for Zoom, click the participants icon and you will find the raise hand function there. Members should not engage in back and forth discussion. The chair will recognize the next person to speak. Please keep your questions and comments brief and on topic to the discussion. Members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized, just so the people in the room know. We usually go to board members first, then the public, and then everyone will get their turn. It's just board members, then the public. So now we're gonna start with the roll call.
Okay. Committee members and all attendees, just to let you all know that there are 9 committee members total for this committee, 5 are needed for a quorum. Rosa Diaz is request excuse, David Giordano. Present. John Green. Here. Christina Johnson.
Here.
Thank you. Sage Mason, I see you're attending
Present.
virtually. Sage, did you submit a qualifying?
I
disability?
did.
You did? Okay, all right. If you can forward that to me and Asher, that'd be great, okay? I actually didn't receive that, but thank you.
Okay, I just sent it to Rosa and Xavier, so I'll forward that.
It needs to get sent to the chair of the committee also, please, just that way I know.
Thanks, Sage.
Okay.
All right, but counting you as present, thank you. Jennifer Mayer,
Present.
Asher Rodriguez.
Present.
Isaac Scott, request excused. Russell Schuler. Present. Thank you. You have quorum. Sure.
All right, it's called, the agenda and the April and May minutes were distributed in advance. If no one has any objections, you have an objection? May? Oh, your name is misspelled?
Correct spelling.
All right, so other than fixing Russell's misspelled name, does anyone have any other objections to the minutes? No, I see no objections. The minutes were adopted and they shall be available on the CB11 website.
Sorry. After the record.
All right, any announcements? I actually have one, which I will distribute the flyer to you. Get 73 Lexington Academy on 104th Street is having a. My bad, I had it pulled up and then it disappeared. It's having a giveaway. On this Friday, June 14th. It's books, I think book bags and stuff, correct me if I'm wrong, David, book bags, clothes. They have a whole bunch of stuff that they're trying to get rid of and it's open to the community. June 14th, 2:45 p.m. The Lexington Academy School Cafeteria. There's a lot of stuff, please come. There's
Reading
like,
books,
it's all over the
textbooks,
hallways, like,
workbooks that kids
It's
could
a lot,
also
yeah.
utilize this.
so. I think we're playing music, right?
I'm sorry, what time, what's that?
2:45.
What
We're not playing music.
time?
2:45 p.m.
What time is?
2:45 p.m.
I'm just messing with you.
You work there. Anyway, next. Any other announcements?
Yeah, not how.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, Marcel. I shared this yesterday, I went through the flyer, so I'm partnering with Whole Community to do a creative arts workshop for. A creative art workshop series for the summer. So,
Yeah, sorry.
do you mind? Thank you so
I'm
much.
sorry, your name, please, and your affiliation?
Marcel,
Can you spell it for me, please?
MARCELLE,
Last.
last name BONDIMA.
Mhm.
I'm a new one.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I remember hearing your name on the roll. Yeah.
Yes.
okay, thank you.
We hope you're interested in the education.
Well, I've been attending all the meetings so far.
And what was the announcement regarding with whole community? Sorry, just.
Yeah, hopefully, a creative arts workshop series.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you also send us electronic, but
Yes, what's the best email to send it to?
You can send it to my email, knixon@cb11m.org. You can send it to the main office email,
Okay.
mn11.
Okay, the one that usually
Yes,
sends.
yes.
I'll send that. Thank you.
Sure.
Alright. Hope to see you maybe in the fall, maybe, based on committee assignments. Any other announcements? I know there's a lot, summer rising's coming up.
Dr. Bruce says that she does have an announcement to make, but she can't stay long because she
Yeah.
has.
Oh, yep,
Oh,
absolutely.
I'm about to get to you. Dr. Dela Cruz.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Alright, yeah, you can go.
All
Dr.
right,
Cruz, go
thank
ahead.
you. Oh, yeah, thank you. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Tomorrow night, we do have our CEC meeting, but it's also our Contracts for Excellence meeting. So I'll be going over the budget and different information about funding specific to D4 schools. So please join if you can. As you know, right now it's a busy time of the year, graduations, end of the year events, carnivals. I know Summer Rising is coming up as well. I put my email in the chat. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email me directly. But I just really wanted to thank everyone. We are going to have a Summer Rising community tour and more information to follow. So thank you.
Alright, appreciated you coming to the Lexington Academy Carnival. The kids enjoyed seeing you. And does anyone have any questions for Dr. Christie? Alright,
That's all.
thank you, Dr. Christie. CEC4, I know Rosa's not here, but Elizabeth said she might be on. Elizabeth, Johanna,
I see it. Johanna Dominguez?
Yes.
oh yeah, Johanna,
Okay.
do you have any update?
Johanna, excuse me. I'll promote Johanna to panelists.
Oh yeah, okay.
They accepted.
And the chair, the president, Elizabeth Cordova Soto.
Cornelius and not seeing.
Elizabeth first.
Elizabeth, not seeing Elizabeth. Johanna, you have the ability to speak. Are you available to address the public? Oh,
None. I got no longer.
Alright,
Rosa did forward. the
Rosa did give us
slides.
a slideshow. I guess I could,
Wait, Johanna,
Yes, hi. Sorry, I didn't hear, sorry.
it's alright. Do you have any CEC4 updates in Elizabeth's absence?
Oh, yeah, of course. We have our next CC meeting is going to be tomorrow at 6 p.m. OMG, wait, I do have the address right here. Sorry. I'm pretty bad with others. Hi, everybody. How's everything? David, I miss you so much. David, I saw you on the Museo de Barrio the other day.
Who,
But it
me?
was wait, yeah, I saw you all the way back and I was like, oh, look at David. Okay, we have our next meeting is going to be in Patrick Henry Prep School. Is located in the 19 East on 103th Street, right here in New York. And we really like to see all of you there. We're going to have updates on the few things that we have and the agenda. We are going to introduce Contract for Excellence, the founding for the state, and of course, our superintendent is going to give an updates. And nothing. We waiting for all of you be present, and thank you so much for always have us here.
Alright, thank you, Joanna. Looking forward to
Thanks.
seeing you tomorrow. Any questions for CEC4?
Is that meeting tomorrow?
That's tomorrow, yes.
At 6 o'clock.
That's exactly, Patrick Henry, it's on 103rd and Madison.
excuse me, hey, guys.
103rd in Madison?
Yeah,
Thank you.
alright, seeing no questions for CEC4. CEC5, is anyone here?
I don't have a representative.
Okay. So we're gonna continue. district attorney, they said that they didn't wanna come as much anymore, but how?
Tiari or?
Oh, she did?
Tiari?
Okay.
Well, she was, not here anymore, so we can move on if you'd like. But
Alright,
yeah, Tiari is supposed to be our correspondent moving forward.
Okay, any youth education advocacy groups? Yeah, alright, Children's Aid, we have our show coming up, so that's exciting. So, yes, alright. Next. Alright, we're gonna go to presentations, if she rejoins, we could go back, right?
Yes, if you'd like.
Status update and developments, urban dub. Anyone here?
Yep, you've got, Andrew, Richie, Jennifer, and let us hear from Urban Job. We wanted to, appraise the committee and just give a brief, status update. We are bringing a new transfer school to East Harlem. And we're very deep in the preparations to do so. We're hiring staff, we have our school leadership in place. And the school is gonna be located in the Taino Towers. Where in the space where democracy prep usually.
Okay.
So we're very excited about that. Urban Dub has a long history of working, in East Harlem, for many years as a community-based program. And, we're just excited to become. So, Jennifer and Omedes are gonna talk a little bit about, our recruiting and, we're looking for a very specific student, because again, we're a transfer school, like a second chance high school. And then Richie's gonna finish up. So, Jennifer and Omedes, please.
So we're looking for students between the ages of 14 and 16, anywhere from 0 and no more than 8 core credits have failed the 9th grade. So in our school, the students there are 2 teachers in every classroom, no more than 20 students in each classroom, they have a lot of support. They get a social worker, they get a coach, and it's also sports based, so they get to participate 2 hours of sports in which they pick every day.
Right, so, to add on to what General Maris was saying, the students who we're going to recruit, we specifically recruit over age, undercredited students. These are students who are age 15 or 16 and who have tried 9th grade but not passed. Right, and so what we do is that we have a 0 reject policy, so students and parents who come and make an application. Jen and Omeris are 2 people who handle those applications. The student can come in and can begin. Every student who comes into Urban Dub is placed on a team, and every team has a full-time coach. The coach and the team are together all day, every day. So the coach might have, if Omeris, but the coach and Omeris had her team of 16 or 17 students. Omeris, first hour, they would have science class. And then Omeris would take your team to the gym to practice their sport for an hour, since we're sports-based youth development. Then they might have our workforce development class or college all-stars class. Then you and your team would have lunch together. And then after lunch, you would go and have another academic class. So the idea is to use a sports-based youth development and the idea of teams and coaches to engage the young people who are disengaged. And once we engage them successfully, we have a very good track record of getting students through, helping them recover credits, get back on track, and graduate and move on.
And we also have a program called High Risers. And what they do is they'll go to an elementary school not too far from our location, and they'll help little students kind of learn sports, help them with their homework, and kind of do all kinds of fun activities with them. And our students get paid for their participation in that program. And they could also use, if they complete their hours, they could use the hours to substitute for 1 beaches.
When Urban Dub was a community-based organization, weren't you part of the High Risers program, workforce development?
So I'm Richie Sarud, and I've been with Urban Dub for 16 years. Prior to that, I was at Scan Harbor, and prior to that, I was at Basketball Brain. So I don't think anyone was more excited about returning to East Harlem than I was. Seeing some very familiar faces here in the room, but like my colleagues have said, Urban Dub has been in this neighborhood for over 20 years, really doing a lot of work in youth development, in families, and the community-based approach that we use with, again, that, was utilizing students to, teach an after-school program, which then modeled into becoming a school, and which has rolled into, having 4 schools in, 4 boroughs. Yeah, so it's really exciting for us, and we're super excited. I'm really excited to be back, especially in this committee, because this is where a lot of the change happened, and a lot of my heart and soul goes into it as well. So I appreciate and look forward to working with all of you in the future. Thank you.
Do we have any recruiting materials? We have some good, we have some goodies, we have some recruiting materials, so we're looking for students. We've begun the process. Jen was just telling me we have an event tomorrow morning.
Yep, we have an open house tomorrow in the community center in the tiny little tower building.
And we have 6 prospective students coming.
Yes, 6 families.
We're off and running. Very good. And so we want to share, could you maybe put those on the thing or give to the committee?
Everything available for.
Well, I would just add that as no longer the chair, but I'll say this as the vice chair. We really appreciate the long. I would say we often don't get information that a school is coming to, they're already here. And we appreciate your early outreach to the committee and the community. When you hadn't even decided on a site yet, you're still looking, and I know there was some chances where you might end up in. But we appreciate the relationships with charter. We try to build that. Understanding the charter is part of our public school systems, and although whether we agree or disagree with charter schools, they are here. And our students are part of them, and particularly in East Harlem. I have worked with Richie and this committee 16 years ago, when I wasn't even a member of the committee 16 years ago. But we were all volunteering and trying to support, so we appreciate working with school. As I disclosed initially when you came, my better half did work for the previous school. I did not disclose the name, so that would be all fair. She is working with you in that transition, and we look forward to working with you in the community to build that relationship both with the school. And even if, you know, your young program, that one that works with the kids, we got a bunch of kids at 72, we can benefit from, you know, working out of there. You know, we are the East Harlem Center Children's Aid, and my role as in this community besides the community board. And we are rebuilding our center, so we do know how it is to, you know, leave the community, come back. And we look forward to building a relationship together, both with the community, but also with Children's Aid Society, and providing those additional services that go beyond school days.
Did anyone have any questions, or was there any additional information that any of us could provide?
My specific question is how many spots will be reserved for people who live in East Harlem?
Well, 110 of them.
All 110? It's just for people who live in East Harlem?
Well, essentially, yes, we open it up to the community, but we're recruiting only in Harlem, the Harlem.
But also I would recognize, and I'll say this as a transfer in high school, they take students from all over the community, the
Right.
city. High schools are a little different. But the target is to work with, and I know also to transition to the current students to ensure they have a spot as well.
Our experience that transfers, students or transfer students in general don't travel long distance as well. So part of the reason also, part of the reason that we're coming to East Harlem, because we know there are a lot of overage undergraduate students who meet our criteria. And so we want it to be easy for students to go out and to find and.
We look forward to the luxury and privilege to have, and that's like one point, I'll be at some point, but like Andrew said, we are transferring to school that works specifically with a population of students that have been really disconnected, not done well in their current situations, and we try to embrace that and reconnect them back into the high school setting and graduate in 3 years through a model that's very different than any other model that's out there.
Real easy question. What are some of the sports that you offer?
We play the most popular sports, are volleyball,
Mhm.
basketball, flag football, dance, baseball and softball in the spring. We play soccer. I think we count cheer, but cheer is part of dance.
Dance and cheerleading, yeah.
Yeah, so each team, we do the sports in lots of different ways, so each season, each trimester, each team has the sport that they're concentrating on. Right, and so and we play some of the other urban schools and lots of friendlies, so that everyone has a chance to play in actual games. And then we're a little bit more competitive, we play in the charter school athletic league. So we do want some more competitive teams, to play more competitively, volleyball and basketball really are the two for those. We also envision, we're gonna have a sizable gym in our new space in Taino Towers. We like to play home games and we like to host. So we will be doing all of that and play on all different levels, just intramural, friendlies, and more competitive in the CSA. And we like all.
So, okay, so you're a sports-based school, right? You take in kids who are not producing well. What contingencies do you have for kids who you have taken in, who have not done well, and continue to not do well, but also have two left feet and can't play any of the sports well? So like, where do they fit in? What do you do with them?
We have analytics, we have game managers, we have other avenues where our students can excel. We have videography, we have our web design that we can put our schools games on and edit them. So you're not just star athletes or be an athlete at our school. You've got to be able to use your that a little bit. And we find ways to connect with our students. And that's the bridge that we're trying to.
Good. I was hoping that you would have like some other avenue besides sports.
So just to add, so if we go back to the example of Omatis and her team,
Mhm.
so she might have 16-year-olds on her team, but there might be, two or three girls who really don't want to play, right? And Omatis' job is to engage those with every student is part of the team,
Mhm.
and that's your team. So they might help out on the side, they might do a little something else, or they might, try it a little bit, just because sometimes once a student tries the sport, they like it, even if they do have two left feet, some kids do, and we want to get them involved because we want everyone to have the experience of being a member of the team. So that's a powerful positive development.
Mhm.
So basically, your school is filed after, the same way as throwing those on basketball. They teach basketball, but they also tend to begin business and everything else.
If I could add to that, we were built on youth development, where teaching younger kids how to play sports, how to work with one another, how to communicate, how to be sportsmen, how to be leaders. These are tools that we use and pillars that we use in our everyday for our model in our school. So it's not just being an athletic school, it's being a well-rounded citizen.
It's interesting because this is kind of what, we offer at Children's Aid Society through Albanelli Summer Camp, where kids go away and they're not all dancers that go to the program, but other kids that don't want to be in the show, and I mean, they put on a hell of a show after 6 weeks, are the backstage and they work on, or maybe they do drumming and they do other pieces to put on the production. And that's what kids learn. And that's kind of a similar context, but it's working as a team and showing that, to get this production done, we all have a part in it. One of the things I know Kelsey Stevens, who again, we gave him a citation for 50 years with Children's Aid, was his big thing was teaching kids sports management. Okay, you're not the ball player, or you hurt your leg, but you love the sport. You can be a commentator. You can learn how to keep the books. And that's how we would employ kids and give them those kind of opportunities. And so, when I ran a Saturday basketball program, we incorporated academics. I had all the kids take a ruler and go measure our little gym. Now go look up online how big a real gym is. what's the difference? Right there, we've incorporated literacy, mathematics, and it's teaching kids through real life experiences. Because you know what, sometimes that's what, not everybody has the same learning curve or needs the same kind of education to succeed.
So, and not to take up too much of your time or too much of the meeting, we just wanted to end with, we would appreciate and very welcome your help in sharing urban development information with as many people in the community as you can. We're hoping to start with a full school of 100 new students this fall. Jennifer is not that person.
Yes, and there's flyers in the bag with my number and my email. My name is Jennifer Villa, I'm the school recruitment manager. My number is
Yeah.
and my number is 646-341-0079. And my email is jvilla@urbandub.org. So if you know anyone, tell a friend to tell a friend, and reach out to me.
Well, I wouldn't say we welcome you back to, I look forward to working. They, just so the public knows, they've come about 4 times now, giving up updates in the last year and a half. So we had a very full presentation initially at the school. And again, thank Jerry.
I'm sorry, what was your name, please? I'm sorry.
Maybe
Yes, can you spell it for me, please?
HOMERIS.
Get it right for the minutes.
And
Thank you.
Thank you so much again. We appreciate, you guys plan to open in the fall, right? And it's the space you said where democracy park was.
And time, you know. It's nice,
But
but
that's like 120.
It's, yeah, it's
123rd, second.
I'm looking forward to you guys being here in the fall. The lead, we're gonna skip the next one because she just texted me that she's running late and just gonna go around.
Okay. So then we'll move on with reading partners. We have Pilar Zulo. Pilar, can you hear us?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for having us today. I'm very excited to present today who we are and what we're doing in the community. My name is Pilar Zulo, and I am an AmeriCorps member and serving in Reading Partners. So now I'm a volunteer coordinator, but I've been also tutoring the students in PS 375. And so I'm going not to take too much of your time. I'm going to do a quick presentation. So I have a PowerPoint deck. Can I share it?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. we can
Okay.
see it.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start the presentation, and at the end, you could ask any questions. Okay, so let's start for who we are. So we are a national education nonprofit, and our mission is to help children become lifelong readers by empowering the community. This is key. This is why I'm here talking to you. We empower the communities to provide individualized instruction with measurable results. So we're called Reading Partners for a reason. We partner with communities and mobilize thousands of tutors across the country to provide one-on-one tutoring using our easy-to-follow, evidence-based curriculum. So we are a 501 nonprofit, so we relied on donations to operate our program. Our work in New York is funded by AmeriCorps and the generous support of foundations, corporate sponsors, and members of the community who donate at all levels. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I'm having, okay, didn't. Okay, so this is really quick what we do. So we are in 20 schools here in New York. We're being as a nonprofit in New York for 13 years, and here in New York, 20 schools. Each school has about 50 students. The lessons that we provide are reading lessons, about 45 minutes per session. And the curriculum is aligned to the state standards. So this is a quick map to show you where we have our reading centers in East Harlem. So we are in PS 171, Patrick Henry. We have in PS 108, PS 375, PS 102, PS 96, and River East Elementary. So if any of you are interested, where you could tutor there as a volunteer. I'm gonna go into that a little bit longer. So how do we do this? We also have long-standing partnerships. We partner with America Reads, and the students could, through there, could get a federal work study. So they get paid to tutor with us. So we have a lot of partnerships with universities on that sense. We also, on an example, we partner with the GCC Engage in the Upper East Side and the congregation or SARA, which they tutor in PS 102, a lot of the members of those congregations, and PS 902 and River East. So what we hope for in this today, we are looking for volunteers. We are interested in bringing reading partners to schools in the area, so then we can serve more kids that need a special tutoring for reading. We're seeking opportunities to inform East Harlem residents of volunteer opportunities to support literacy grow with reading partners in your neighborhood. So any of you that maybe are interested or know someone that could be interested in tutoring, we have a lot of opportunities. We also looking to identify new community-based organizations to involve our work. So if you are member of an organization, it could be a religious organization, it could be a community, any community organization, we could maybe talk about opportunities for volunteer too. And we also inviting community committee members to see our work in action. So you can actually go and see a session in one of the schools I mentioned and see how how everything works. So really quick, let me tell you the why behind our work. So this is the reason, the students. And who are the students? The students that need it the most. So I'm going to show you a quick video. This is just a 2-minute video so that you can hear from one of our students. Let me see if you can hear it.
Be you, like you are. Be Mason. That's it. Do what you do best. Be Mason. Okay? You ready to start your day?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Mason, what would you call this movie?
I will call it Mason's reading journey.
I always tried my best to try to encourage him by reading myself.
It makes my heart
So
beat, yeah, like so happy because my family is giving me support. I won't let myself give up.
What are you excited for today?
Our reading partners.
Yeah, you have a big day today, huh?
When I get picked up, I feel happy a lot because like reading partners take care of me a lot. Like they care about me.
I love it.
Me too.
You love it too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, go first.
Reading partners is about reading and go online with a tutor and then you start reading with them too. Hi. And then they have to ask you the questions like what is the main idea or how do you know what's happening in the story. It's pretty simple. So that's how I became a star. When a lesson is challenging, I tell my tutor that I need a little bit help of it. And then they teach me, and then now they say like, what is the main idea or what is that? And then I answer it perfectly. And they say that you're on fire today because I answer everything correctly.
That's an awesome answer.
Mason, all done? Excellent. Okay, sticker time, you guys. All right, good job today.
It does help a lot. I've seen him, you know, his reading level low at one point and then starting with the reading partners, he's doing extremely well. I love it that they have the program in the school.
Proud?
Because you're reading and that's what's gonna help you for the future. That's most important.
And cut.
And cut. Okay, so as you saw, volunteers help us for that outcome, to help the children that sometimes are falling behind in reading because, as you mentioned before, the system is designed for, this is one system, but everybody learns differently. And some students need support in a different way. And that's when our program comes in, so then nobody is left behind. So in this past school year, 84% of K-2 Reading Partner students and 81% of all Reading Partner students met or exceeded their literacy goals. So that shows that the program works. This is some quick numbers in the area. So we have 1,041 people as a volunteer supporting New York City students, tutors last year. Those tutors helped 1,164 students learn to read last year. These contribute to 24,510 tutoring sessions, and more than 500 people serve as a personal tutors. And remember, this is at no cost to the student. So really quick, how are the lessons? We have two types of lessons. One is what we call the blended lesson, which is what you saw on the video. The tutor is, I'm sorry, what you saw was the Reader Connect when you do it only online, virtually. But we also have the option that you go to the school in person and you sit next to the student. You still use the computer because the lesson and the curriculum is in the computer, and the books and everything, but you do sit next to your student, and or the online virtual completely. And then this is how the lesson works. So we do, so as a tutor, you explain, you give the instruction, and then you model to the student how to read, and then you do it together. The student and the tutor work together, and while the tutor continue providing guided instruction, and then the student will do it by himself. It's it. A lesson is the first 10 minutes, the tutor logs in and prepares the lesson. So you have 10, so the tutor is there for an hour, but the lesson with the student is 45 minutes. So the tutor has 10 minutes to prepare to see what the curriculum is. And then the tutor logs in, and the first session, the starting of the session is the tutor read out loud, meaning that the tutor reads a book to the student for about 10 minutes. And then the tutor starts teaching this a skill and checks for understanding. And then at the end of the lesson, the student reads. And the last 5 minutes, the tutor complete notes of what happened in the lesson, what went well, what was a challenge, etc. So then we know how to customize the program for the student. And to get a starter is very easy. The tutor will, the person who's interested would attend a tutor orientation that is about an hour, then sign a tutor code of conduct and complete a background check, because this is, the Department of Education requirement. And then you just look for what school and what time you can tutor. And then we just schedule with a student, and it's pretty easy. And we are in Reading Partners, we will help you through the process, so then it's easy. And that's it. So I'm open for any questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
Are you, I mean, that this is the end of the school year, near the end of the school year, are you including potential volunteers for the next school year, or you have a summer program that you're preparing for?
That's a great question. We don't have a summer program right now, but we started recruiting for the fall. The reason being, that way it gives you time, as you saw, to attend the tutor orientation. We have also a lot of support to train you to be an effective tutor. Also, to go to the DOE and do your fingerprinting and everything. So we always start the sooner the better. So then you're ready to go in the fall.
Just quickly, committee questions, and I'll go. Any more committee questions?
Nope.
David?
More of a comment. Hello, in addition to being a board member, I'm also with Children's Aid Society. And we are doing work with Reading Partners. Our Millbank Center has been working with them for a couple of years. And we're exploring as well in our East Harlem Center that works out of Lexington Academy. So we're also exploring and working to incorporate Reading Partners into our after-school program, but just want to disclose, so that,
Oh, that's okay. That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
And our chair also works at Children's Aid as well, so.
Great.
I'm maybe one of the people trained to do the program.
Wait, what?
Yes, yeah. We'll talk about that when you're not chair.
Sorry, she's on board, so I'm gonna go her and then I'll go you.
How long is the training process?
So good question. The tutor orientation it's only 1 hour. However, we have a lot of webinars and a lot of support. But just so that you know, the curriculum is in the software. So you have everything. The student, when you do it online, for instance, the student doesn't see what you see. In the screen, part of the screen, you're gonna have the curriculum, what you're gonna say, how you're gonna teach, etc. It's very comprehensive, but at the same time, it's very easy, and you have time to prepare before. And again, the student is not gonna see it. And when you do it blended, meaning that you go in person to the school, then when that happened, you also have the curriculum with you. And that in that case, the curriculum is going to be printed. And so if that answers your question, you have all that support. You'll know what to say, what to do, what to teach, what's important.
Thank you for clarifying that. I more so meant, the training to become a tutor. Like, is it as you go, or is it like a week, 2 weeks, like how does that, what's the time frame for that?
Good question. Is on at your own pace. And I want to clarify something. You're not going to be alone. So say you are in person or in the computer, in the school, there's a program coordinator. There's someone from Reading Partners that is there for you to answer any questions, if you need any help, and to guide you through. You also put, notes of what went well and what didn't go well. So that person reviews, the program coordinator reviews every single day what happened. So they would talk to you. They will help you. Okay, this didn't work. Let's do this. Or so on and so forth. So you're in content training. If that answers your question, you're complete support.
Thank you.
Any more committee members or can I go to the public?
Yeah. What is the timeline for, people to become tutors? So for instance, if I want to become a tutor, right? What are the steps I need to take in order to be one?
Okay, good question. Okay, so see in the screen, these are the steps. First, you attend a tutor orientation, which is 1 hour. Then you just signed a tutor code of conduct, which is kind of like the policies of what is expected from you, to be a tutor. So you just sign that. And then you complete a background check with the DOE. That's it. So there's 3 steps. Tutor orientation, which is 1 hour. Signing the tutor code of conduct, that would take you, while you read, maybe 5 minutes. And schedule your background check with the DOE. So the background check.
That's what takes a while.
It could. However,
So my physical presence is only required at attend the tutor orientation.
Correct. The tutor orientation is online. You could do it online. We have we have actually in person, but yes, you can do the tutor orientation. You can do it online, but no to be confused. When you start, say for instance, you did all this to become a tutor and you're ready to tutoring, then you're gonna have a special session at the school with the a person who is in the school. So you're going to have a special session. So then you get familiar with the school, you get familiar with the tools, you set up the computer, your password, everything that needs to be set up. So that's after you're ready to go.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any more board members? All right.
Yes, hi. I just want to ask the members, since everybody in the city here is pretty much coming to the same situation, and there are kids here, if we can go after this topic, we wanted to ask if that's possible.
We have another presentation, but I'm not sure if she's on yet.
Tamara is here with us, right?
Tam, are you okay going last?
Absolutely, no problem.
Thank you.
We finished.
Yeah, we're gonna finish this, yeah. Yeah. I know you. Any more questions on the present topic? No? All right, we're looking for, oh wait, she asked for a letter of support, right?
No, Tamara asked for a letter of support, but Pilar was just only introducing.
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much for coming, Pilar.
Thank you so much for having me. And again, I welcome everybody to volunteer. This is for our community. This is for the betterment for of the community, the kids. It's a very rewarding thing to do as well. So
I'm so sorry. Christina has one more question.
Just a quick question. How would someone get in touch with you if they wanted to volunteer?
Good question. So I should have put my email there, but so instead of Volunteer New York, as you can see, you could always contact the Volunteer New York, but if you want to talk to me directly, which will be great, it will be my name, Pilar, Pilar, dot, my last name, Zullo, Zullo, at readingpartners.org.
Anything else?
Thank you.
All right.
I
Thank you
also-
so much.
And I'm sorry, really quick, I also drop off some information the other day in the community board. They have some pamphlets that maybe you can use. And there was one that you can just take the telephone and the email.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Pilar. So we're gonna go now to, we'll go back to the agenda, because I don't remember exactly what the title of. I just want the generator, right? Thank you. But the ongoing. Khalid, could we move this, because it was new business, it wasn't necessarily a presentation.
Right, so then, so we can just go through it and then just circle back for it tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Ongoing generator noise issue on East 127th Street between Madison and Park Avenues. Impact on residents in Urban Assembly School for Global Commerce and Residents.
And
Is that correct?
Yes,
All right, who is speaking?
I will speak, but then I think it should be open for everybody.
No, we will be open. I want to know who the main speaker is, and could you state your name for the record?
Yes.
wait, also, I'm sorry, just before we go, I just want to let you all know that we did invite the school principal, and he did say that he would be attending virtually, but he's not here yet, so I just wanted to let you all know that. Moving forward with the
He might
conversation.
have been waiting because he was under new business.
He's not here signed in, so it would have been great for him to be present to also field these questions as well, but I just want to let you all know that he isn't present at the time, okay? But we can move forward, sure.
Thank you very much. So thank you members for opening this up for, to hearing us. This has been, a very serious situation for us in the last year or so, started in May 2023. And so, I want to very quickly say that this has brought tensions between the school and our side of the street. Unfortunately, because we consider ourselves neighbors. That's the whole point of sharing the street, to learn each other as neighbors. Unfortunately, the school has no AC. The Department of Education, I guess, or the school construction facilities has not provided them with AC. I'm just saying this, I know Khalid knows this, but I'm just saying in general. So they hire a contractor called Agreco to put a portable generator on our street. Unfortunately, this generator has 7 violations. 5 violations of noise, 2 violations of non-registered portable generator. And the last violation was for not getting a permit, extended their permit to be on our street. So there's a lot of discrepancies in this situation. But above that, I feel that one of the reasons why everybody's here in person is because we're really suffering out of the situation. We're not being able to sleep. The generator is turned on at 2 in the morning and turned off at 7 PM, I'm sorry. And the fumes are completely disturbing to the houses next to them. We're concerned about our health, and we're also concerned about our right to clean air, clean water, and well-being in our homes. I think every New Yorker deserves this, everybody in the world deserves this, and we're not getting this. And it's been now a year. Now, last year, CBS did a report on our street, because for us, it was important, to have a voice, because nobody was really paying attention. So I really thank you enough for opening the space, because we should have had the space last year. So hopefully, if we had it, maybe the problem would have fixed faster. Unfortunately, we didn't. So we don't have a voice. We're trying very hard to expand our voice. And I do want to say that the situation it doesn't bother just us. It bothers also people that are, making community on our street. It's something really invasive on our street. So very quickly, because I just want everybody to be able to speak. I do have the violations here. I brought them. This is from the DEP. That is interested. And I also brought very quickly just to show the image of this. I think it's important for everybody to understand like what we are experiencing. So I sent Kelly a couple of videos made by different neighbors. So we have a neighbor here who gave me video, a neighbor here in the back of what we are experiencing on our street and in our homes. So this happened on Saturday. Sometimes the generator expels fumes, and if we feel that it's because it's a portable generator. You know, it's giving air conditioning to a huge building that is not really adaptable for something like this. And it makes sense that, you know, this is happening because they never registered this with the DEP. It's a it's a serious issue in my view.
It's not registered.
I'm sorry?
It's not registered.
It's not registered, and you can see the violation there. The last violation for non-registered portable generator was on June 4th, 2024. The next one you can put is sound, if that's okay, Khalid. I do want,
Sound, what sound?
I think this is very important, because we're talking about noise pollution.
Volume 25.
So you have to.
Well, that's very.
Volume 8. Volume 85.
Just showing my phone. It's at 3 in the morning. I mean, this is louder. I can't even put it in my phone. You can keep going. This is at 2 in the morning. This year. I know, thank you. It's very loud. Thank you so much. This is from our neighbor Jesus, where Tonya lives, his family. And make sure the family in the morning. So we're also thinking, you know, we also have the right to live up to education and culture. We have families. And we have asked the DOE to please change their schedule. They said they need 5 hours to cool the building and they have after school activities until 7 p.m. So,
So I have a question.
go ahead. No, you're
I'm
fine.
sorry. You said 7 p.m., but this says that they're running from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So my question is,
Oh, which violation is that?
this one is excessive noise.
This is, see if it's for 2023, I'm sorry.
Where's the date? Yeah,
We know if this is a summer rising site, because I'm seeing some of this is from August.
So if there's 4 violations of noise between 2023 and this month, and this year.
My question was, do we know
Was that your
if it's a summer school site? Summer school.
Yes.
It's a summer school site.
Exactly. And apparently the principal said that it was a shelter, but Khalid checked and there was no shelter at that point.
Well, at that time, I don't know what the case is
Right,
now,
exactly.
and it would have been great if the principal was here to answer like specific logistical questions as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, question. Have you called the DEP on this?
Yes, we have called, how often do we make noise complaints? Like, probably every other day. The problem is that when there's a violation, until the record doesn't go to court or oath, not court oath, then all of our complaints get canceled. So it runs every day, but then when they go to oath and pay something, then it kind of clears out the, I don't know how to call it, the system.
Right.
And then we can keep from continuing making violations. But what we did last year is that each of us bought a decibel reader and we just kept recording, because we didn't know if we had to litigate or not. I
Right.
mean, personally, I don't have the money to litigate, so I'm really just trying to work with the school on this one. But I mean, we wanted to prove that this was happening every day.
Have you spoke to your electeds?
Yeah, actually, one of the reasons we're here was because Kamika Maps, talking with community board made this happen, so I'm very, very happy about this. I cannot be more thankful to her.
We unfortunately weren't notified of this.
Yeah.
earlier. Like, we would have called you in sooner. if we knew.
We were, I'm
I
sorry.
would have called you in sooner if I knew, but I wasn't notified about this.
Yeah, and, I personally, last year, I had a nervous breakdown in my home. I just threw myself on the floor and started crying. I couldn't understand if all this is happening, all these realities are happening in our street. Like, why cannot somebody do something? Why? I don't understand. And I mean, we had a week, it was, I don't remember, 95 degrees. And Mr. Vizcaino looked at us and said, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to turn it on 24/7 for a week. I have to leave my house. Jessica, you were a little bit sick with Tona. I don't know if you want to tell that experience.
Yes. With the beginning, we try to talk with the principal. And the first people with the principal is, I don't have time for your problem. We offer with other neighbors to the help to what kind to way can take for help you. We know you don't have window. What's the next step? We can, manifest something to help you, to help us, each other, because we are neighbors, okay? The principal need to teach to be good neighbors, because we have necessities. We, all of us are, we are the different cultures. Our culture is, Native, American, Mexican culture. We don't use, either the regular AC, we need open windows. Okay? We, and Colombian people to open the window, so some people need to open window, and you can smell these fumes in your house. You can open the windows. And he told me, this is not my problem. My problem is this school. And I answered him, okay, so you receive a pay for work here. I pay for living in my apartment and I can live. Okay. We are not the only people that make signal life here. We now have Luis is our neighbor. He's good doctor.
He's a forensic driller.
Yes.
He's a what? He's a forensic driller, so that means people that uses blood samples to do forensics. So he pretty much like he's losing his pulse, he cannot really work, so he had to go to the doctor because his palpitations were crazy. He's not here with us today, but yeah.
We make complaints, we call the police, we call the fire department with the tree is burned. We try always, we put in our windows, sheet with or in conformity. Please stop the machine, please don't be aggressive like a Greco, you know. Our principal voice is Anita, because she had the time and the passion for be in front of. And the principal take this situation like a personal issue. And that's not a personal issue, it's all the neighborhood here and people that is not here interest in find real solution. It's not like a only close the window, I don't have time for you. That's no attitude for a principal. We can be with neighbors, we can help this school. But we don't know what's the first way to help us. You said the school doesn't have windows?
No,
it doesn't have
No, that school doesn't have windows, it's just, yeah. It's just,
That's all.
it's the school
How they feel
across from like.
during this period of time. It's very-
So,
It's like on 120th Street or something?
It's
127.
It's nearby Marcus Discovery, but
It's, yeah,
5 blocks, yeah.
Yeah.
7 blocks up.
Other important thing in this case is our street finish on Park. It's closed and no, it's not continue the transit.
okay.
And in this corner, all the people, the people in streets, selling drugs, go around this corner. In this, especially back this machine, back this monster, you can see anything. People having sex, people sell drugs, people make necessities.
Right.
Out of rats.
you're saying people on the corner are doing drugs and
Here's the generator, they're hiding behind.
They're hiding
between
behind the generator.
Yeah.
Between the generator and where the school
So-
gates are.
So it's like a tunnel into
They're
security.
very dark.
So it's a very dark tunnel that people
Yeah.
hide behind.
They're hiding place to do all kind of crazy things.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand.
No,
Yeah,
fine.
but-
And the other problem, sorry, so the other problem there is that we had a light pole that was lighting everything. And again, since DP has no registration of this, only DOT, which knows that there knows that it's there. But I don't know if DOT also knows that the light pole was taking off. So
Someone
it's
took off the light bulb.
exactly to place the generator. So the generator took the.
This might be a dumb question. Did you guys contact DOT about that?
Oh, yeah. By the way, I gave Ms. Herrera, district manager for Joseph Salam's office. I gave her a package of all the emails I exchanged with DOT, with DOB, with DEP, with the school.
Okay.
Also as well with CBS.
Before we continue, what exactly are you asking us to do? I just want to know. Okay.
That's a fantastic question. Thank you so much for addressing, because the depth of this problem is really huge. Right now, they're putting out the piping for transferring the generator or getting a new generator. I hope they do. A new generator for the, they're gonna place it on the playground. So
The playground faces Madison, correct?
yes, that is correct. You got that right. And so the only voice that we had during those times was Mr. Roslin from CBS. She would keep writing to school construction authority, when, they kept saying February. They kept saying winter. They kept
So you
saying
want to know
winter.
when this generator is getting replaced?
Yes, and our problem is that they started working and then all of a sudden they stopped for 3 weeks. This is an emergency. This is an urgency. Why did they stop? Is it money? Like, what's going on? This is really worrying to us because also the generator is running right now and they're fixing the piping. Why did they do this last year? Well, we have the situation. I mean, we have thousands of videos of what we experienced. Why we didn't start the construction last year? So we want to know now dates. That's what our community wants. We deserve dates because we have suffering for this situation. It's our second year. I cannot, I don't know about anybody here, but I wake up and I say, I cannot believe this is happening again. This is we wear earplugs to sleep. We go depressed to sleep because we know we have to deal with this in the morning. We cannot eat long at home because we have to open our windows and we have to go away from this bus, which is a very intense bus. I mean, tomorrow, I'm already depressed. There's a tomorrow because I'm in my house. I can't enjoy my house and I pay my rent. I know everybody pays their rent here. Everybody's on top and we cannot enjoy, something so simple like well-being in our own homes. So yes, please, we want dates. We want to know that the school construction facilities authority takes control of this, that they tell us exactly what is happening. And then, we're not taking July. It's gotta be June. They keep postponing it. And if they postpone it, it's because they thought they could do it.
They're telling you right now it's July.
We don't know.
You don't know.
So last thing was that principal came out on Saturday and unfortunately he's not here. Came out on Saturday because we had to call the fire department 3 times because it was exhausting black fumes. He insisted that he had to run his program above all. So we said, no, you have to stop this. This is not working, but he continued. And then at one point, he said, you know what, let me show you what we got. So he's got a PDF that showed Gustavo, showed Camilo and another neighbors that here, and said that between the 19th, I don't know if you guys were there, between the 19th and the 21st, the new chiller was gonna come, they're gonna test it out. So I'm wondering, how come this PDF that is out there has not been shared with our community? Where we've been so close to them, they know how to reach to us. They know how to talk to us. They can talk to police. They can call the council member office. They know how to reach us. I've written the principal many times. He has not answered him. I mean, I'm gonna agree with what you said. He's been really, really relentless on helping us. And we went with the community, 12 of us, and we brought a lawyer, which was part of our neighbors. And I mean, he didn't want to talk to us until a lawyer took his card out and said, you gotta tell us who we have to contact. We have to talk to your authorities. Finally, he was able to talk, but he's not doing for me, and I'm not talking for anybody, for me, I feel there is a sort of incompetent leadership right now, because we could have had this solved last year.
Even include white people.
Yeah, there was a altercation, like I said, these tensions are getting very serious, this has gone too far. He went on the street saying to us, you white people don't understand. I don't know who he's talking about, but you know, if there was white people or non-white people, for me, it's like a very racist comment coming from the principal.
That's not a question about racism or something like that. It's common sense. These neighbors, we clean our street. We told the people when we saw something, strange, or because our street had a lot of kids. And it's important our street be safe for us, for the kids, for the school. It's no question about racism, white colors. That's not the good way to find a solution to that.
I don't know if anybody else wants to say something, just so we don't bore you guys.
Quickly, and then I'll call on you, okay? Because I just want to respond to what you're asking us to do. What I can offer you, and Khalid could correct me if I'm wrong, is we could find out who superintendent, like the oversight for that school is. Email school on behalf of the community board, like ask them. Or
So actually give you further clarity. Those, Anita and other members, they brought this to us as of last year. And
okay, I wasn't told about it.
Yeah, normally constituent cases, we keep them in office. We normally don't bring them before committees because, you know, it's more so just agency liaison. The issue that we've been having up until this point was establishing contact with Division of School Facilities, which facilitates contracting heavy equipments like this for school facilities, and getting in proper contact with individuals from CEC5, which has just been on land standing issue anyways.
Just long standing, because the superintendent who you guys heard earlier, this isn't her jurisdiction. Within East Harlem, there's 2 different school districts.
Right, and so.
And the school district that unfortunately you guys are in, we haven't been able to maintain contact with them.
So in terms of internally, and I already explained to you, Anita, that my district manager, Angel, brought this case on because we haven't been getting any response from, our agency reps at all. We did get in contact with Rumi Vizcaín, the principal for that school, and he committed to attending tonight to field your questions and field inquiries, but unfortunately he's not here tonight to help us make, any headway. So
this is one of those overlaps where it's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
No, it's that little carved out area. that
Yeah, we've been
overlaps
trying
different
to get in contact with them.
If that's a District 5 school, what is it actually?
I'm trying to check on the DOE
27.
website, if it's District 5 or is it Manhattan High
I'm gonna be
School.
the first graduating class from that school, so I'm familiar with the school.
It's Urban Assembly for Global Commerce.
That's what it is there?
Yeah, East 125th.
So
Madison Square.
Harlem Children's Zone no longer here, Democracy Club no longer
Yeah,
here as well?
they're sharing
They're sharing still? High school, middle school?
elementary. Sorry,
It's a-
thank you so much, yeah.
This is District 5, yeah, it's not Manhattan High Schools, it's District 5.
Right, but it's still in CB11.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to find out who the contact is. Yeah. Unless it hasn't. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to find that.
No, that's fine, I mean,
I'm gonna let the gentleman in the back speak, but I will also like for you to write down your email for school.
Okay.
Once we figure this out.
go ahead, Gustavo, you wanted to say something?
My name is Gustavo Rincon. I own the townhouse right across the street from this generator. This is, look like it's supposed to be an emergency repair, emergency project. And the building in the corner is 17 floors. It was built faster than this air conditioner. Okay, and I'm directly affected because now the generator turned into my wake up alarm at 2 o'clock. I wake up because my living room is right in the front. Okay, the fumes, this because this generator is run by a diesel
Please watch on the later.
And the smell of the fuel is, the other day was out of control, but like 2 days ago, fuel, it could stop. And the dark fuel coming out. And we had to call the fire department, police and all that. Also, that fuel that comes out right going directly into the trees. More than half of the trees dead already. I don't know why all this environmental concern doesn't do anything about, how can any company can come and destroy a tree that has been there for years, long before they even was born. And apparently we have nobody we can help with this thing. We are afraid that, this is gonna go any further, they gave us until June, June, like, 20, because they did the installation for the new, generator is gonna be, insulated from the, 16 of the 21? Okay, and we hope that this is the last deadline that you give us. We are tired. I don't know if it's because Harlem is well known for being the dumping ground of everything that they cannot do downtown. I'm not sure if this abuse of environment and all kind of, noise, pollution, I don't think they will accept the downtown. Only probably because it's Harlem. So it may have to do a little bit with the
location.
discrimination. It's ridiculous.
I'll give you my email and I'm sure, I don't know if anybody really quickly, go ahead.
Related to the construction, it may have been you, Gustavo, who told me when, I think we met when I first moved here. He's the one that told me that construction was responsible for the parking sign on the corner closest to 127th and Park, being knocked down. I have video that I even submitted after I got a $95 ticket that defines the rules of when you can and cannot park. I asked the judge when I appealed if he can communicate to whomever is responsible for resurrecting that sign which lays on school property. Like he guided me in there to show me in the vestibule area outside, adjacent to the gates, where the sign is laid. No one has bothered to resurrect the sign. And I'm afraid other people outside of me are also getting maybe parking tickets. So the city hasn't done anything to fix a construction boo-boo, I guess, as it were, about that parking. Again, product of the construction, maybe it was an accident from, as he had explained. No way of proving that, of course, but it would seem maybe the two are related, the construction having knocked down that sign. And with the generator blocking the next sign, I wouldn't have known that was designated for Department of Education between certain hours, I'm sure you're aware of. So I guess the action item is if you're able to advocate for that, to see if that can be repaired so other people will not also get the same ticket that I got when I first moved here earlier this year.
A missing parking regulation sign
Right,
on East 127.
and the one closest to 127th in Park, correct, across from their row of homes.
Understood. Okay, all right.
Just to clarify, to
Right.
clarify, to make sure that I'm understanding this right. Parking sign was knocked down by 127th Street in Park.
There's one closest, correct.
There's supposed to be a new generator put in, but they stopped the construction on it.
They stopped the construction for 2.5 weeks. And I've asked contractors and they said that supposedly they don't want to get paid, they don't want to pay overtime.
So 2.5 weeks ago, they stopped
Yes,
construction on the new generator. Is the new generator just
On
in
the
the
piping.
playground?
and the piping.
On the piping, so no new generator yet, just
Not yet.
piping.
Right.
Were you were told there was gonna be a new generator?
Yes, and we were told there was gonna be a new generator with the proper insulation for noise. And I mean, I hope so because the kids are on that playground.
Yeah,
And so.
and the generator's supposed to be put in the middle of the playground?
Yes, I mean, this is the thing where we want to get a meeting, sit down with school construction authorities and, ask them, can you please tell us your project? We need to know what's going on. Also, some neighbors on the other side are kind of worried. Because if it's happening the same thing here, Cause we don't know, right? We don't know, like they say insulation, they talk to us like this, but these are contractors on site, like we want to talk, you know.
You wanna talk to who hired them, basically.
Yeah, we wanna talk to the, to who is in charge of this project, we deserve that.
Okay, so we're gonna contact the superintendent for that, we figured out who the superintendent was for that school.
We don't want this, to last any longer than June.
I know, we could contact them and we're gonna try to contact them, but like we said, we haven't been able to hear back from anyone over there, so we'll try again.
Well, actually, yeah, we had established contact with communication with them. It's just a matter of, you know, how frequent the communication is and then being honest about coming before the community to address these concerns, which was the point of tonight, unfortunately. So we'll get back in contact with Rooney to explain that we missed this meeting to address the community residents regarding the ongoing noise and, moving forward, we need to do better in terms of, I don't know, having a sit down. So I'll have a discussion with my district manager regarding that since, we did set up this meeting in-house and, he hasn't followed through with that.
And then last but not least, and I'm sorry, I know.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
I think our administrations, like this one, also should bring people forward that are accountable for this, and we need accountability. We cannot be like this, big, I don't know, abstract image of the problem, like who is actually responsible?
Yeah, we unfortunately, within community boards powers, there's certain things we can and we can't do. So we will, with the best of the power we do have.
I see.
Yeah. I know you said by the end of June, we're gonna contact them. It's just, we really can't control. We don't have any jurisdiction, I can't say the word.
Jurisdiction.
Over the DOE, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But our best opportunity is collaboration and, advocacy. Like we were saying, we've been trying to establish regular communication with CEC5. That's just been an ongoing issue for us. If we had better communication with them, you might have been able to try to address this
And
a
they
lot
used
better
to come
earlier.
regularly.
Yeah, they used to, yeah.
As you know, again, sometimes leadership change. I would suggest also going to the CEC meeting.
I could look
It's
up.
a public
like-
meeting. You can, yes, you can come, like the superintendent announced tomorrow was this district CEC4 meeting. But again, different superintendents, it's just a different carved out part of
Yeah.
CB11 where we don't have a relationship.
Yeah,
That's
we're gonna try to keep ourselves alive because we were so tired of this.
I would also try
Yeah.
to find out if it's gonna be open for summer school or not.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna be open for summer, so it's a huge location, they have 2 schools in there. I'm sure they're gonna do many things, so, I just wanna let the members know, very openly that my community, is very upset. It's not gonna allow this to go longer. I don't know what we're gonna do. Tensions are very bad on our street. There are fights on our street because of this, and I feel it's time to, end this. We have to end this. I don't consider the school to be my neighbor, it's my aggressor, and it's a school. And we could be helping these kids also to feel safe in this area, but we don't want to do nothing to them. We don't even go close because they look at us as the crazy lady who's trying to kill the generator. Yes, I am the crazy lady that's trying to kill the generator because I cannot live in peace. It is true. So, I don't know.
So when I also mentioned, I like it, because you mentioned, you know, Ms. Knapp is a district leader, have you been to, you know, the council person and the other elected officials?
Yes.
As well?
Yes, I have reached everybody. Even Eddie Gibbs last year, he did not responded. We reached as well District 9, before Josette Salam was there, as a member there. I submitted the papers to Ms. Herrera. I hope to have a meeting with her this week. I really hope so. And I asked her there also to arrange a meeting with the SCA because we need to know what's going on. Be able to understand what
I mean, we can invite, you know, school construction authority to the meeting and ask them about this. we don't have another meeting until September.
No.
The
You know,
next,
it's almost like,
No, this would have to be arranged.
yes,
the next CC5 meeting is June 26th,
June 26th.
and there's no location on their website yet.
So we can just,
Transportation like that.
It's from the DOT, the DOT gives the permission to place that on our street, but right now they don't have a permit. They're paying $6,000 for not having a permit. And again, this is the kind of attitude, right? It's a city for the city. So the city, because it's for the city, they don't have to cope with this thing, so they'll just like forget things. But unfortunately, I'm there and I have a lot of anger and I'm going all the way with this. And I'm checking every freaking detail they're missing.
Yes.
And nobody knows they have 7 violations, and that is crazy. It is insane. So, right now, if they pass one day, I will get another violation for them. So, you know, I keep doing this because one day I'm just gonna be able to show somebody. And something's gonna happen with these violations, I don't know. But so far, nothing has happened with that. So it is not fair. So the DOT knows, and I even asked the DOT, can you extend a permit to a machine that is not registered with the DEP? Nobody answers you. Nobody, because they say contact the DEP, so. I'm sorry that answered your question, but that's the situation we've been dealing with, like us as civilians, as some people that don't have the power to move this forward.
Unfortunately, this is a systematic issue. The Department of Education is more concerned, focused about the health and conditions of the students in that school and how it operates. We're talking about a contractor that's basically your problem right now, operating that, you know. We're talking about a superintendent that's a superintendent, we talk about a process that you may have to go through. I didn't even mention, bringing the, police department involved in their reporting. Should be documented all your reporting, but this is a systematic issue. We're a part of that system that you can make an official grievance. Again, we go through a process of saying who are the powers that be that can, you might think of just turning off the air conditioner, I mean, a generator. That's a health condition for the student.
Yeah, and I mean.
Even when they get to hear it, it's gonna be a situation on how to resolve.
I have a question, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What did they do? You're saying the generator's been there for a year, right? What did they do before the generator was there?
Good question. I moved to the street in March 2023, and they started this in April, so I have no idea what happened.
The
before.
generator was
So-
there, that means something broke down and put a generator in.
They had their own
That's what that is. It's
My
not-
understanding was that there was a rooftop unit
yes.
that broke down,
Mhm.
and to fix that, the money came out of a different budgeting process, maybe capital budget or something. But they were able to get budget for a temporary generator.
Mhm.
You know, it's probably more expensive, but I mean, there's tension with this principal, but I think we all understand the principal has 250 kids in
Right.
a school that was federally designed without windows. And.
Innovatively.
Right, innovatively, sorry, yeah. So, I mean, I understand the principal's, issue, right? But, yeah, the fact that they plop this thing right across from their windows, I'm a bit further down and it doesn't bother you directly, but I am fully in support of this, you know, these efforts. Because it's really kind of nightmare to get, you know, open up that early every night, so he's gonna understand it. Fortunately, yeah, we see the pipes going, we talked to the people and that said it's imminent, and I talked to a guy on the construction site and he said, your neighbors are gonna be happy soon, I promise. We'll see, right? Hopefully that'll take care of it. They put up this plywood sheeting around the area we think this is going into, so hopefully that's some insulation that will cut down on the noise and hopefully it's gonna come online soon, but I think the long-term solution would seem to be this rooftop unit and getting that fixed.
Right.
But I don't know if you all have exposure to these kind of projects before to say, okay,
Having it on the playground is probably not a real good solution. Having it where it is now is not.
Right.
The logical thing would be to repair the
Right.
original problem, but does that not exist anymore? Is the budget process completely different for schools? That, you know, this is something.
How old the unit is, maybe more than repairing it, right? And that's, you know, then how do you get it down, put one up, you still need to operate. My concern would be, by shifting it, do we just shift the problem to more people around the block, and maybe some hear it less now, and now others will hear it, right?
So far, it looks like it's going to be insulated and covered, because again, we see this plywood shooting up, and hopefully they're pretty.
So is this the temporary solution, or is this again, with a long-term solution?
Yeah.
Because I drive by there every day and I see kids playing in that park. So now we're taking away again, space from kids being able to play as well.
Yeah.
You know, so it's,
I said so far that it's gonna be in the parking lot, which is right underneath the building. There's cars that come in there.
yes, yes.
The playground, I didn't see any structures on the playground proper yet, right? So maybe they found a way of sticking it under that, but it would be so simple, I would think, to show us the design. Just give us 3-page PowerPoint presentation. This is where we're going with it.
Thank you.
This is the best we can do. And
Schools construction authorities made several presentations here and the CEC that I've been part of. They have their own priority and ranking system for how they go about projects. And yes, for us, we push for air conditions and now learning that you gotta get electricity upgrades. So there's so many different, and that's a different department than schools, right? So, you know, it's navigating through a bureaucracy.
Yeah. What I not understand is that this time of technology, when they can build a big building like in my code in 6 months, they cannot change the air conditioner.
Has nothing to
No,
do, has
same
nothing,
thing.
has nothing.
Already,
There's nothing-
here.
there's-
It has to do with the budget from the school. It's probably
I don't
not-
know
That's,
what it is,
that's,
but
well,
it's
that-
ridiculous.
we can
We
only,
suffer because of that.
we can only address the issues that we can address, apples and oranges. Same
And
thing
it's-
with Metro North. It's
Right.
construction as well, these have nothing to do with each other.
And it's easier to build a new building than to put new wiring in an older building, if that makes sense.
What we experienced talking to the principal, I think Chad was there, but you guys were there, was the best year. Was they're saying they were struggling to get the project for the air conditioning inside the room forward because of bureaucracy.
For the funding.
Yeah, I can understand that. And again, when this happened, I think school construction facilities came to the site the day after to see how they were gonna fix the problem. But unfortunately, a portable generator like that cannot be insulated. It's just not possible. You cannot put a blanket on top of it. They were looking at it, nothing, so they left it like that. That's why they said that they have the all winter months to do what they're doing now. I think that was for us peace. Then we said, okay, we made peace. But now nobody did anything. Only they started to work on something right now. And now it's been like, what, a month? Yeah, we have now 4 weeks of not sleeping well in our homes. I mean, I understand, so.
They promised us to be done before June.
So.
Now it's June 21.
October last year.
I'm afraid that this is gonna continue.
So, if you, to answer your question, I think that's gonna be the temporal, but that's probably gonna be there for 3-4 years. It's very, very unfortunate, also for the kids that are gonna be playing in that playground, and it's also unfortunate for the kids that come to school to smell that diesel. Like, Kamika was yesterday in our street, and she said, it stinks here. And we were right in front of the entrance of school, we have to move.
Yeah, past that.
Sorry, yeah, I mean, you can walk through it, it's like impossible, you cannot stay there, and I know his rage, I understand where he comes from, his house is right in front of him. And he has a beautiful porch where he normally sits outside, he cannot do that anymore, I understand this. You know, so.
Don't go with that.
So for me, it's like, can we stop the anger? Like, we can't, like, how can we stop the anger, how, because we don't know where else to do it, you know?
So let's just say this started now officially. District manager brought you here, like I said, it was done internally. They say you have a voice, that's being gonna be heard in a bigger way.
Thank you.
To the right authorities, and like I said, the reality is that. That building has been under repair, it seems like forever, always something else with the building. So I'm all reaching into the neighborhood, there's always been scaffolding around the building. They repeated it. So It's something that's hard to deal with, but like I said.
Unfortunately, being part of like some of the budget processing, the way that certain things get priorities, because within a district. There's only so many schools that can get so many repairs per year.
So what do we have to do to contact District 5 and get the meeting with the SEA? What kind of?
It's a public meeting like this.
And let me know, I am available, I can help, I can do anything, just to make this possible. For me, our community is, tired, I can do it, I'll go forward.
I'll take the liberty not to speak for the board, but as an individual that lives here, I would say, I'm gonna give you the number, when you leave, I'll give you the number for the superintendent. We would, the community board is gonna do what we can do, you better continue to do what you're supposed to do.
Fantastic.
Because you're speaking with, and speaking with, speaking on it, we can't speak, we can speak to the issue.
Right.
You speak to the living condition that you're in.
You know, we also have the full board. And there's a public session,
Information.
you only get 3 minutes each on the full board, and it's time, but 3, 6, 9.
Right, oh, that's true, this is happening at the
See
spring,
thousands
right?
of
Yeah.
residents though.
Is it
They can receive thousands.
2010?
And I think, maybe the council member will be there, right? I think you said.
We usually have representatives, yeah.
Yeah, so the 20, it's around.
It's the
6 o'clock,
25th,
right?
at 6:30.
6:30.
You can attend in person, you can
I-
do virtual. The in-person details, we're still solidifying that, so you can definitely check back in later.
Also, normally it's online.
Normally, it's hybrid right now, so you can
Oh, it's
attend,
hybrid.
you can, just like all our meetings right now.
Full transparency, I will not be there in person, but I will be on the Zoom, so what do you saying?
Gotcha.
Could I ask one more question about
Yeah.
this? If you find out the entity that's responsible for that building and looking at what's needed at that building, they're certainly gonna be talking to a principal, right?
We know who is responsible, it's just,
With that person, that entity, would they have a 3-year plan?
You would have to ask.
A 3-year capital plan,
It's
where they,
the Department of Education, they have to plan it.
we know that building.
Yeah,
They own the building.
Okay, so maybe cut out new windows so the kids can see outside or repair the air conditioning.
We gotta make sense, all right? Well, you say, we gotta make sense, gotta make sense,
Yeah.
gotta make sense.
but not even windows.
That's like a reasonable.
No.
The windows is going on, I think, we have windows in our cafeteria, and still like an oven in there.
But the principal mentioned that they are probably in the future going to put windows in it.
Yeah.
But the building was opened in 1966. All right, it's an innovative building that was built one of a kind. I entered that building in 1966. Then operated, you can see out of it. So now that air conditioning, all the systems that are in that building has to function. So when it's not functioning, we're talking about, we in District 11 is a health hazard here. Period. So that air filtration and all those systems, that's what they're working on. So you have a first grade principal, first of all, coming into the building, inheriting all the problems that are there. Structurally, things that we can't see. And that's the Department of Education priority, making sure they maintain health. Don't you think the parents are complaining just like you on the outside? So it's more complex than that.
Unfortunately, also by law, they have to start putting air conditioners in schools, so they can't just put windows in there. They have to have AC.
I just wanna hopefully end us on a thank you note of like, thank you for coming. I used to live on 131st in Madison. I live on 125th in Park now, so I love to see people from above 125th Street, and sometimes we forget that East Harlem goes above 125th. So I just wanted to thank you for coming and also say like, please, hopefully we can work together on other things once this is solved. I think we'd love to see you back if there's other things that you're interested in.
Thank you so much.
Community.
And thank you so much for the reason, thank you for the action, for the. That kind of.
Was one last thing, because they are telling us that they are going to fix the problem since last October, when after we passed all of the suffering, like during the summer months, and they, like almost 8 months passed, and they didn't do anything.
And what's unfortunate, they found their way here now.
Yeah.
If you had found your way here last year, things would have been, communication with them. Not saying them they're gonna resolve, but the communication will be
So you have that information for you.
We still have a meeting after your meeting. We still got-
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry we took so long.
No, it's all right.
I think, yeah, we've been containing our words for now, what, in a year, so thank you so much, yeah.
All right, so Nita, tomorrow I'll send you all those logistical details, right?
Yes.
Come back and.
This can stay, I mean, I have copies of this.
Yeah, I
made
need that.
No,
Yeah.
if not, I was gonna run my time.
Thank you neighbors for coming, thank you Chad, thank you for taking everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
That's taking so much of our time already, so. Yeah, it's our time. Some of my students did this for us, so they must be great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's true. They all feel it for me. I fell asleep one day in class. I said, what happened to you? So sorry. I'm like,
Always sleeping in class.
I'm sorry, we still have a meeting.
I'm sorry,
We still have one more thing. on the agenda. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Sam, sorry about that. Sorry for the wait. We're gonna go on to you now. Yeah, David. Dan.
Hi.
So, hi, Sam.
You guys ready for me?
Yes.
You need a minute? It's okay if people are leaving.
No, we good, we good.
You're good. Okay, give me one sec.
Do you have a PowerPoint or are you just gonna speak?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm just gonna speak. I'm just gonna talk to you all. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I know that you're super busy. I'm here and it's hard. It's hard to be here and to speak about what I'm about to speak about. I am a parent of a New York City public school middle schooler. I have been actively involved in New York City public schools for 12 or 13 years now in all different capacities, SLTs, PAs, teacher support, youth support. And I'm here tonight to talk about our LGBTQ plus students, particularly our trans students, and their safety and their well-being. So the last few years, there's been a national uptick in the anti-trans national sort of hate rhetoric. This comes in waves. I think anyone who is familiar with trans people who have trans, friends and family members, they understand that it's a wave, right? This has been happening for decades where all of a sudden trans lives are again an issue. The trans issue, right? Instead of trans people being people, not an issue. And it usually comes with a political party. It's usually politically motivated. I'm here tonight because I am frightened, I am disgusted, I am disturbed as a parent and as a family member who, the niece of a trans woman who's 87 years old and who has lived a full life as a woman who has fought so hard for women's rights across the board, who was just inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame, who continues to work on behalf of students and trans youth internationally. And I'm here for these kids. What I'm hearing from CECs, what I'm hearing from parents in schools, what I'm hearing from politicians and elected leaders is hate speech when it comes to trans youth. I have heard and read all over the media that trans kids don't exist, that they're a disease, that they're a cult, that they are mentally ill, that they do not belong, that they are cheaters, that they are criminals, and that there is something inherently unfixable and broken about their lives and themselves. I think it's one thing to be a student and just to try to grow up, right? Try to be in middle school, try to survive that. And then you bring in this. You have elected parent leaders and appointed parent leaders on CECs, on citywide councils, and in some community boards who are openly, not just transphobic, anti-trans. They want them to go away. They want them to not have any rights, particularly in school, and they will go to any means to make sure that happens. Recently, CEC District 2 passed a resolution that would essentially overturn federal law, civil rights legislation that was enacted and put forth the guidelines, the 2019 guidelines, DOE guidelines on sports in schools and what it means to participate in PE, on sports teams, gender policies. So you can participate in school, whether you're in kindergarten or you're in 5th grade or you're in 10th grade, in sports and in PE according to your gender identity. This was 2019 when they passed this. This council is trying to, the CEC is trying to overturn that. They actually passed a resolution to ban trans kids from participating in any athletic activity in school according to their gender identity. This has catastrophic effects on these children. The bullying and the harassment that these kids have to go through on the daily is so intense. And then you have the national rhetoric. You have it all over the news. I mean, these kids are keyed in, they're online, they see it. They see social media posts, they see the news, they see these people spewing all of these, messages about how disgusting and unwelcome they are. We can't have parent leaders doing the same thing. So I'm here tonight to ask for your help. With the permission of somebody very close to me, I was going to read a letter to you so you can get a little window into how students are processing this, how students are very aware of what their CECs are doing. And so I, with permission, will just briefly read this letter to you. Sorry, my voice is shaking and I'm taking so long to do this. I'm just, it's hard. Good evening. I'm a D2 7th grader, and I'm asking for this council to make schools safe for all students, including students and teachers that are part of the LGBTQ+ community. Your words hurt all of us. They devalue us, and they really scare us. Why do you want to make kids feel scared? You have kids, and you probably would do everything to make them feel safe and loved, and even important. What if they are gay or trans? Do you love or fight for them any less? Do you stand by quietly, as parent leaders bully them? It is not your right or anyone else's right in a position of power, especially when it comes to school and student safety, to target a group of people because you don't like their gender identity or their sexual orientation. Calling trans kids a disease, a cult, saying they're not real, that they don't exist, is against everything the chancellor stands for. You are not worthy of a seat on this council. Sorry. Because you have damaged students' trust in your ability to see us for who we are, whether it's our gender or sexual orientation or our disability status. Your words have impact CEC too. Instead of choosing respect for all students, you choose to use your seat on this education council to make students you don't take the time to understand feel alienated, alone, and sometimes honestly terrified. And it's really hard to learn when you feel this way. It's really hard to want to get up and go to school every day. I'll pray for you, but in the meantime, Ms. Marin and Ms. Igorov, it would be the right thing to do to resign from the CEC immediately after we all saw the WhatsApp chat where your words put LGBTQ+ students' safety at risk. Freedom of speech does not mean you attack LGBT kids openly and publicly and then turn around and pretend to serve these same students fairly and with dignity. Your views are a conflict of interest, and that's just basic common sense. I'm a 7th grader, and even I can see this clearly. Respectfully, please take your hateful hearts somewhere else where maybe they'll eventually heal, and let students live our lives in peace without fear of violence, just for being ourselves. Thank you very much. Sincerely, Oliver Duffy. I wanted to just take a minute and then I know you might have questions and I want to take up all your time. Some hard sort of, data, some stats, right? I know that this topic, I hate the fact that human lives are a topic, that trans kids are an issue or a topic, but let's talk about some of the data. So this is data coming out of the CDC, the National Health Organization, Amnesty International, the American Pediatrics Association, the Trevor Project, Johns Hopkins. It goes on, it goes on, and goes on. Some highlights. I would call them lowlights, but LGBTQ plus young people are more than 4 times as likely to attempt suicide than their peers. More than 2 million LGBTQ plus young people ages 13 to 24 seriously consider suicide each year in the US. 1 attempts suicide every 45 seconds. 41% of these young people seriously considered attempting suicide just in the past year alone, including roughly half of transgender and non-binary youth. 52% of LGBTQ youth who were enrolled in middle or high school, reported being bullied, either in person or electronically in the past year. And those who were bullied had 3 times greater odds of attempting suicide in the past year. LGBTQ plus young people lack access to affirming spaces, with only 37% reporting that their home is affirming and just less than half saying that their school is affirming. 1 in 3 transgender non-binary youth found their home to be affirming, and less than 50% found their school to be affirming. LGBTQ plus young people who did find this is the good news, who did find their school to be affirming and welcoming, reported lower rates of attempting suicide. LGBTQ plus young people who report the presence of a trusted adult in their school have higher levels of self-esteem. Schools that offer young people the ability to participate in extracurricular activities and clubs and sports and GSAs, otherwise known as gender and sexuality alliances, have been found to significantly reduce the risk for depression, anxiety, and increase well-being among LGBTQ plus young people. So those are just the facts. And here we are, right? Here we are in this situation, unlike anything I've ever seen. And I think it's very unique that we have parents who are doing this bullying now actively and unapologetically. And so I'm asking you to please do something on your end as a community board, as other community boards are doing, and call out these CECs who are putting out these resolutions that are harming these students. Stand up for our LGBTQ plus students by passing your own resolutions or bringing attention to the fact that we need more GSAs. Your district needs more GSAs in East Harlem. I know that for sure, right? Look at the superintendent's reports from each school and see where they can be implemented. Make sure that the 2019 gender policies for sports in schools are actually being meaningfully implemented. Where are we at on those gender policies? And just to sort of, to close with, my aunt, she's 87, right? She's still going. She's like flying all over the place and doing her thing. But man, she asked as a high school student, a freshman, this is the early 1950s. So she might've been one of the first people to actually ask this question, if she could please have a PE waiver, or if she could have PE with the girls. The girls and boys were separated and they wouldn't let her. This is 1950s New York City, right? She ended up being abused and bullied so horrendously in PE at a time where transgender didn't even exist, right? The term, transgenders, like she knew she was different. She knew she was a woman, but how do you say that when you don't have the words for that, right? She would go on to actually create an entire academic discipline called transgender studies, but in that moment she was alone, right? And so she dropped out of high school, and this is, you know, a woman who's a genius and loves school. She dropped out of high school that year and almost killed herself twice, attempted suicide twice that year. What if she had had an affirming space? What if she had been able to just do PE, you know, and have the benefits of sports and exercise that we all know come with team sports and exercise? What if she had had that? Would that year have been so horrible for her, right? What if she had actually been successful in her attempts? And so when I hear these CEC members saying this is a radical policy, this 2019 policy is radical, she asked in 1953. 1953. It took until 2019 for this to be implemented. That's how long progress takes when we're not all on board. And so I'm asking this board, pardon the pun, to help in any way that you think is reasonable and meaningful. And I'm just, thank you. And I'm sorry if I you know, went on a tangent. I'm just, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, any questions? Right, my quick question is, what specifically are you requesting from us? A letter of, like, a letter of support type thing, saying that we support transgender and LGBT students in this district? Is that what you're specifically asking? Resolution? I'm
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think that the call to action is important. It's like, what, you know, what's the ask? And I think that within, you know, this particular committee, you know, I wanted to come here because you're dealing with youth and education, and that's where this is happening primarily, right? I think that sponsoring resolutions to go to the board that center the lives of LGBTQ+ students, especially in your district, but also across the city and the boroughs, that show support, right? That are affirming their existence, but also like strengthening the 2019 guidelines, for instance, or the respect for all, the chancellor's guidelines. I mean, those are steps you could take. You could also call out CECs and citywides who have put out these sort of anti-trans LGBTQ+ resos, right? By asking them to rescind. So writing a resolution, which actually some CECs are already in the process of doing, asking CECD2 to rescind their you know, anti-trans athlete resolution. You can also create a working group. I don't know if you already have this. I'm sorry, you might already have this, where you can check in within your school district, within your schools, where there's, you know, a point person in the schools to get, you know, take the temperature, see what kids need, see what this community and that school needs, what their issues are, what they're hoping for, how the GSA is going, and have a meaningful, ongoing, sustainable support system for your community, because that's what needs to happen, you know, 100%. So action steps, those are some that you could do. Or take, yeah.
And seeing as we're in East Harlem, have you heard of anything like this happening in East Harlem so we could bring it up to the superintendent?
I hear about things all the time. I mean, that's my job, you know.
You don't have to give examples.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just-
I mean, you know, because of HIPAA and everything else, it's like you can't talk about a particular student, but I think you're in a unique position. Because, you know, the kind of idea is like, well, this is a very, you know, very Christian, very sort of, you know, in terms of, you know, being conservative, not so much as just Christian, right? And so we don't talk about these things, or we don't have these problems, or we don't have out kids. That's why you need to do this, because those are the kids that are actually suffering the most, right? I teach at NYU. I've been a professor there for the past almost 20 years now. I can tell you, I have had dozens of adult students who still have not come out to their families because they are so afraid of retaliation. They're so afraid of the shame, right? Of being shamed, of being disconnected to their families or letting them down. And so they don't tell their families. And they say that the only reason that they're okay and that they made it through all these years and that they're still alive is because someone at their school, an adult at their school, or a program at their school saw them and supported them, and they could be themselves at school. We have to give them that. They have the right, these students have the right to feel safe and welcome and included at school, regardless of sexual orientation and regardless of gender identity. So yes, it's happening in your district 100%, 100%. I mean, the level of bullying in schools is off the hook. It's off the hook. And it's
Yeah.
particularly like targeting this group of students, and the suicide rate for trans students, I hate to bring it up, it's peaking, it's so high. It's so high. We need to stop it. We need to protect these students. Like, they have the right to be safe at school. This is basic.
Our CC, I think a couple of months ago, did put out a resolution on this. I have to check. I don't think we voted on that resolution from CC4.
From off the top of my head, the CC4 or CC related resolutions we've signed on to were like air monitoring quality in schools.
So it wasn't this, it wasn't
I
okay,
didn't-
it wasn't that one.
I couldn't.
So
No.
what we could do is we could maybe it was a few months ago, would we be able to reference that? If we were to write a resolution?
Well,
We have not dealt with this issue
right,
in the community board, so this is new in
Okay.
relation
right.
So what,
to this particular issue. I think there are two things.
so how can we
Generally,
go
when we
about
write
it?
letters of support, they go to somebody, right? We're addressing the need for this, are you asking in that essence? And generally, we take a month to vote on it, but we don't have a month because
Next
there's no board
September,
meeting
yeah.
in this. Like, in terms of this, we agree with everything that you're presenting. These are all things that we should be working with our youth to help support. All youth who are experiencing any kind of discrimination, but should be, as you said, healthy to attend school and be who they are. So who are you asking us to write a letter of support in relation to, right? It's just.
To
We just don't write an
chancellor?
open letter, we support youth in this way, we do, but who are we sending it to?
To the
Who-
chancellor, to the
who-
superintendent?
Right, so,
I would think, the panel for
Yeah.
educational policy, which has already put out a letter of support, and condemning by name,
And I-
council members on CECs, and and I
and
think,
generally.
yeah.
I was a previous CEC member up until last year, we won't talk about where I'm not currently. But, I still attend meetings and present, and generally what we do is that we adopt many of those and then, support them as well through community board letter. And we have members that are both CEC members and also members of this committee. So we kind of work together in supporting those things, maybe not always as best as we should, but particularly around this topic, right? Because I think it still has a division, even in this community, of what side of the position do you stand on? So, I think we're in support of all this. We are in support of the work. We did start a group at the school we work with here in the community. This young person next to me is one of the leaders of that group. And we're trying to address all these things that you say. Yes, we could use better supports. And so, where you want us to go?
I think that, I mean, thank you. Thank you, because I don't know the ins and outs of the way the community boards operate fully, like I do CECs. And I should probably disclose that I'm a member of the Citywide Council for Special Education while I'm here. I would say the people who have spoken loudly and publicly about this have been the PEP. They wrote a resolution condemning what the CEC2 put out and in support of reaffirming trans rights in schools, right? So gender policies from 2019, but also reminding people of the DOE, New York City non-discrimination policy. This is not a position, you can on your own time, not think that trans kids exist. I mean, I think that's a horrible thing and it's just basic. They do, they're here, right? But you cannot like them or whatever you want, but there's no position when it comes to schools and the policies. We do not tolerate discrimination. It's not allowed based on all these protected classes. It's happening at the school level because it's being fueled at the adult level with our elected officials and with our CEC members. And you have kids like that kid that I just read that's my kid. He, thank God, was sick that day that he was supposed to give that testimony. And so they read it into the record. And as they read it, grown men on that council rolled their eyes and made faces to a little kid, a 7th grader who signed his name on that, asking for protection for these students in this population. So I think that it's all thoughts aside and feelings aside. Like if you're on a CEC, you can't get up there and openly harass students that you represent. When you say trans kids don't exist, well, guess what? There's a bunch of trans students in District 2. So are you saying you're not going to serve them? Because you just said they don't exist. So the fact that these members have not been removed blows my mind. I mean, we have chancellor's regulations for a reason. So I would ask, that's something that you could do. Like, why haven't these members been removed? The laws are clear, the regulations are clear. Your Manhattan Borough president has talked about this numerous times and has written statements condemning CEC2 and other districts who are taking this up. He's been very loud on this issue. And the fact that, Moms for Liberty has come to New York, and many of the CEC members attended using their official titles at that meeting. So talk to him. I mean, he's doing a lot of work around this right now too. And I'm sure he would love to know that, you're thinking about ways to support these students. It's like one thing to call out what people are doing that are not, it's not okay, just legally and just serving in the way that you serve, but also like, what can you do, and what can you do outside of that? And I think that working with the schools in some way, where you're getting direct input, in a meaningful ongoing way about what they need, then you can go advocate, this school doesn't have a GSA. They're a high school and they don't have a GSA. Why not? The DOE sets it up for you. Every school can have a GSA and should, right? So that's one thing you could get from your superintendent. You can call the district office and you can get the numbers in the schools that don't have them and figure out why, and you can do that whether or not you want to support, in your own time, the trans issue, if you want to call it an issue, right?
So you want for us to ask the chancellor why these members haven't been removed?
Yes.
You want for us to also ask the superintendent, why is there not a GSA in every school within our because we
get
really
that information first. Yeah.
We really could control our district.
Yeah. I would say maybe ask.
We have is ask how many do we have? Have there been challenges to starting them? What are some of the challenges? Maybe some of the schools that were able to start them. I have 2 children attend D4 school here, and they have a group, but I know there was a lot of parents uncomfortable. And I think, again, we have to find better ways to be more inviting, to sit down and have the discussions, to support all our children.
Can I say something quickly?
Yes.
Also, I know we can only control like education in East Harlem, but I would love for you to come speak to Human Services, because if there's a single student in East Harlem that is going to school in another district, that then becomes a health issue and might leave our committee and go to Human Services. Because if there's a single student, which I'm sure there's more than a single student in our district that goes to CEC2 school, that issue now.
Full transparency.
For many. Thank you.
I'm just gonna put it out there to the committee that I have heard some things about stuff that happened within this district specifically. And that was the whole reason why the CEC4 put out a resolution saying, it was a resolution basically saying that they support the kids within our district and they condemn, and just that it could make a world of a difference. But I saw Russell's hand up a while ago.
And just before I forget the GSA piece, I'm sorry, I don't know who's speaking. I can't see your names. I'm like searching for names.
That was Asher who was just speaking.
No, Asher, but the gentleman before that, I don't want to assume, but I'm thinking. Yeah, David, thank you for the GSA part. I think that for the parents that are pushing back against it, I think they need to get to a point to where they realize that this is something that's saving lives, period, right? It's saving lives, and these are kids' lives. And that's the data that I read. and I can share that with this community. So sometimes when you just have the facts and the data, it's like, this works. This works to keep these kids safe and alive, right? It's proven. And that could be a talking point for some of those hard discussions, but I think that no parent group should be able, or no group of parents should be able to say what a student can't have in terms of supports. It's like, what if you took away IEPs?
Yeah.
We agree.
Yeah.
So that was a great point, and thank you, because I know it's a difficult conversation, because I'm having it, and I'm like,
This is very scary, and although
it
we
is
live
so
in
scary.
think we are free from Metrodus, we're really not.
No.
And our young people experience it where sometimes it's easy denied that it's even happening.
Yeah.
Because we live in New York.
Just quickly,
Thank you,
Jennifer
David.
May, who's our vice chair of the Human Services Committee. That was who was inviting you, and now.
Oh, thank you.
So, in hearing this discussion on this topic, oftentimes individuals like yourself, you are so broad brushed. Talk on a lot of important topics, and when you come to a community board like you're doing now, requesting a letter of support, I think it would be best, because the community board generally lends support to actions. So if you were to, in my opinion, center what you want to have addressed, package that in the form of an action, and ask the community board to support that, so support an action. So you named a number, I've heard a number of symptoms or issues that result in ill feeling for that population, for the population we're addressing. So you really want that stopped, or you want it to be addressed, that these things exist. So I would think if the framing of what you're coming to Community Board 11 for would be support for an action that you want to see happen, as opposed to this, and we support ideology, the idea of what you're saying, the philosophy of what you're saying. Because I would think we would want to move in action. We want the chancellor or the senior administrators of the Department of Education to bring attention to these actions that are happening within their school system to protect children because of a lifestyle, a health issue, mental health concerns. And that should be packaged, and what you want to do about it is what I think Community Board 11 would want to support, because we'll be supporting children.
Well, she did say that she wanted a letter to the chancellor about those members, because that district is just south of 96th Street, so a lot of our kids.
But more of these
Definitely
issues in that whole context would be more of a resolution.
Yeah.
Because it's not just one focused thing, and the topic is, but then you're asking for a lot of specific kind of asks within it, as Russell was explaining, therefore resolving, right, the safety of all children, and then, run off the different things.
Yeah.
Right,
So-
I think that part of, I mean, I wanted to have a conversation. I don't know who Russell, is that your name? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that was
The gentleman
Russell.
that just spoke. Yeah, thank you for that. I think that, having this, I've never met you, so having this conversation first, like coming to this board, like I will go to other community boards. I have gone to other community boards to talk about this issue, right? It's not broad, it's specific. We have CEC members on more than one CEC who are putting out harmful, dangerous rhetoric about trans students that puts their safety at risk. And it's not a debate. They've done it. Mark Levine has called them out. The PAP has called them out. Brad Holyman has called them out. Various senators have called them out. And the chancellor has still not removed these members who right now are posting on social media pictures of minors who are as young as 10 years old, competing in sports teams and calling them disgusting, cheaters, you name it, right? Fakes. So these are our students, they represent our students. So this is an actionable thing. But I also like to work collaboratively. Like, I don't want to come in here and tell you, do this thing, right? I'm like, this is what's happening. I would love to see you do something to support locally your students, but also, you know, with the rest of the city. This is the discussion that's going on right now, and I'm just here because I really, really care about this. I care about our students being okay in school and having the right to access education. And they're not able to access it when they're being bullied and harassed publicly by grownups that we have in office that the chancellor can remove, and he's the only one that can do it. So that's, you know, that's why I'm here. But I would love to hear, you know, about what you think you could do outside of someone giving you a resolution to sign or something like that, right? And I think someone brought it up, like, you could get the number of GSAs, like which schools, literally, like, ask for the data, like the list of schools in your district, which ones have a functioning and running GSA, which ones don't, and then work with the superintendents to figure out how to put one in and why there isn't one. You could also look at bathrooms, gender neutral bathrooms. Like, there are many schools in your district that don't have them to this day. So that's just what you could do. You know, I'm just here to offer that. But like, what I would like is for, you know, yeah, you can start with this letter to the chancellor. It won't be the first one, and it's not going to be the last one, you know, but that would be my ask for an action step, you know. And then
A letter to the
support you in your
chancellor.
work.
So no resolution, just a letter. We could work on the resolution in the fall, but as of right now, what you're asking for is a letter to the chancellor requesting why members of certain CECs have not been removed or investigated.
They
Have they been?
yeah, nope. And when you have so basically they're non-employee employees of a DOE, which is, I'm sure some of you have been on CECs before. So if you work with the DOE in the capacity that they do, they're under the same sort of chancellor's regulations and federal and local and state laws. They violated the non-discrimination policy. They violated other laws. And so, you know, we have lists of that. I think when I say we, there's a bunch of people kind of working on various issues around LGBTQ plus students. So we, you know, we have a record of what they violated. The chancellor has spoken out against them several times and said he was going to take action. We've been waiting. It's been 7 or 8 months at this point, and they keep churning out these resos.
No, I think you raise an important point, and I also experienced that as a CEC member, you're considered in service as a DOE employee, and you're still subjected to the same regulations. Hence why I'm not on the CEC right now.
Here we go. On topic.
Thank you. No, I understand exactly.
Thank you. I had to read all of that. I mean, that was a lot of law, you know, that was a deep dig. I usually do special education and disability law. That's my wheelhouse, but there's also overlap there. You know, a ton of overlap. I mean, a lot of, you know, these students that we're talking about are protected under ADA. They are protected under other federal laws. So the discrimination and the open harassment and bullying that these people are doing, that they're elected and they're doing this, and the chancellor just lets it go. Just lets it go. And I think there is some fear. Some people are afraid of one of these members and her power and her reach. And you know, that it's been like, well, I don't want to get sued. And it's like, well, you've got a civil rights lawsuit on your hands if you don't do something about this. Like, and dead kids. I'm sorry,
Right?
but dead kids.
It's protected health information. Right?
Yeah.
And if these are being put on webs, you know, these are minors.
They're minors. It's disgusting. I mean, it's just, and you can't have kids in that space anymore. You know, like you don't want to, they have no student on the council and a couple of these councils because it's such a toxic space. But yeah, I mean, it's the real threat is to our students, and it's when this is constantly going into your mind and you're getting hit from all sides, right? It's dangerous. And I'm glad that you see that. And I appreciate that so much, because I think some people are like, oh God, you know, trans right activists, TRA, whatever you want to call it. It's like, no, it's like, these are kids. these are kids and they're being put in danger by adults that the chancellor oversees, right? So, yeah.
So what we could do is I'll take a motion if we do wanna send a letter to the chancellor requesting for individuals to be, cause truly it's right next door to us and we don't know if a lot of our kids do go in CC two, especially with high school. That's such a big district. It goes all the way.
High schools in the city and see.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
biggest district, it's the largest.
Yeah. So I'll take a resolution to write a letter to the chancellor to ask, what's it called? Let me make sure I'm wording this correctly. To ask, why, to ask.
Or to ask for the removal, yeah.
Ash, if you allow me.
Yeah.
We make a motion to write a letter of support to remove the CEC two members who have violated, and that's the part I got up to, and we'll put the language in as it relates to violation of privacy, violation of commitment to oath and service to CEC, you know, it's, because they sent it to me.
It's
and
the
it's-
oath.
Can you add, David, to reference the CEC four letter and then reread that?
I would want to have the CEC letter here to reference before I would
Okay.
reference it in the motion.
Alright, then, never mind.
Please function properly, David, for the record.
I make a motion to write a letter of support to the chancellor to remove, to make a motion to remove okay, I'm sorry, let me start again. I make a motion to write a letter to the chancellor of DOE to remove the two CEC members that have violated their oath to the office and service as CEC members and in violation of youth safety of students in DOE.
Wow. How did you pull
Second.
that out so easily? That was great.
Which one is that thing?
It doesn't matter.
Violated their oath and
They did,
service
yeah.
to the safety of youth and students in New York City public school systems.
Alright, Christina Johnson, second. You gotta say it again, Christina.
I second the motion to write the letter to the chancellor by David.
Including all elected officials.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be CC.
Yeah, they'll be CC'd on it. Yeah.
Okay. So, roll call vote.
Yeah.
David Giordano?
Yes.
Oh, and I'm sorry, members, we have 7 members present, so 4 needed for
One, two, three.
Sage is online.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
4 needed for this motion to pass. David Giordano,
Yes.
John Green,
Aye.
Christina Johnson,
Aye.
Sage Mason,
Aye.
Jennifer Mayer,
Yes.
Asher Rodriguez.
Yes.
Russell Schuler.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Alright. Thank you, Tam. So
Awesome,
basically,
thank you, you guys.
this will go for full board, on the 25th. So you have my contact information, so I'll send you the details for that.
I look
Thank you.
forward to it, and thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you all so much.
And thank you for waiting.
Yeah.
This was
Oh, no
important.
problem. No problem.
So we're gonna continue on, basically,
That's it, pretty much.
yeah. Any old business? Any new business? We already went over the generator, but other than the generator,
Nobody online.
no
either?
principal, no, okay. Alright, we have to follow up on that, alright, this meeting is adjourned at 9:01. Khalid, can you call the roll? Well,
Yes, indeed.
I've done that backwards.
David Giordano,
Present.
John Green, Christina Johnson,
Here.
Sage Mason.
Present.
Thank you, Jennifer Mayer,
Present.
Asher Rodriguez.
Present.
Russell Schuler.
Thank you. Thank you. No problem. Yes, that's fair.
I'm not here.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Welcome.
Thank you.